why I'm telling you this is because this, for single Sages, becomes the availability of a love story, and it's going to pick up steam mid-month. We'll get to that.
Lunatic astrology.
Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. We are talking about May 2026. Now, if you found last month a tense April, I don't blame you. You had a very rare amount of energy, stellium, in your fifth house, and there might have been a lot of intensity around love, romance, sexuality, creative, entrepreneurial energies, and your children. And you might have been tapped out and exhausted by the end of it. On the other hand, this is a month, May, that feels a lot more easy. Why is it better? What's so much better about it? Well, if you're a single Sag looking for a relationship, then this is one of the better months of the year to find somebody coming into your life that you are going to have a lot of sizzle and a lot of passion and a lot of friendship energy with. And it could be quite fated and destined and maybe even a bit soulmatey. But if you're not single and you're looking for a smoothing out in the waters of your love story, then this can happen as well. There's so much going on this month. It's much better because we have every planet direct, no more Mercury retrograde in Pisces. We have a 3-month moon, 3 moons this month, not just one, which is pretty cool and very intense as well. But we are also not under that eclipse energy as well that prevailed through much of February and into March, early April. And so all I can say about this month for every sign is it's a lot better than it was last month. But May also gives us 3 good weeks and 1 bad. The last month of the week is difficult. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. In the global story, it's not great the last week of March, but in your own life, there'll be this kind of intensity that you're going to have to move through with a bit of grace and good ease and understanding how to do that rather than to plow into it, but to sort of move through it, not, into a head-on collision with that last week of May. I'll tell you how to deal with that last week of May in our astrology today. We're going to cover the whole month of May, everything you need to know, including the moons, week by week. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm having a bad hair day, and you can find me all over the internet. But this is Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses. And if you really want to learn how to read your chart properly, use the whole sign house system. Listening to general astrologers on YouTube and trying to convert it to your Placidus chart is why you get confused. The old ancient tradition is once you go whole sign, you never go back. How and why to cast your chart in whole sign houses is a free tutorial in my description box below. Go grab it and learn how to do this for yourself. And second of all, because I'm a teaching astrologer and I don't want you to miss this, and because I only teach this class every couple of years so far, last was 2022. This is my intermediate students or advanced beginners Divine Timing Masterclass, 5 precision timing tools to time your best life. This is literally ancient tools that I've been using in my own practice in my clients for the last 8 years, especially some of them that I rely on, just like you would rely on your GPS coordinator on your phone to get you somewhere on a drive. So if you want to learn these tools, you'll need to have the beginning stuff down, but check the description box below. The website link will take you to the course description. You can sign up for all 5 weeks. You can sign up for 1 or 2 modules. There are 2 weekly Q&As. There are live Saturdays with me, 5 Saturdays in May. When you go to the website, there's a kind of checklist that tells you if you're ready for this course or not. So go there as well to know if this is going to be okay for your level of astrological knowledge or not. So I'm recording on May the 16th, Thursday, April 16th. This probably drops the weekend of the 24th. And so I'm getting ahead of the game. I'm going to take you through the sky. We're going to clock the sky together bit by bit. So I'm going to show it to you. And I might talk a little bit fast, which is understandable because I have Mercury and Sun in Aries with my moon squared by my Aquarius Saturn. No, sorry, sextile. I just talk fast. So please slow me down with the gear icon box because I'm going to put a lot of content into 35 minutes, right? I'm giving you everything I got. Then the only way I can do that is to talk at a pace in which I'm not going to be here for 1 hour to deliver the same content I can do in half an hour. And you're a fire sign, Sag. I know you get me, right? We are fire. So let's get going. May the 1st. What do? We have a full moon. Why do we have a full moon? Well, because we always have why am I on April the 23rd, for goodness sakes? Doesn't really matter. Well, let's go ahead to actually May 1st. May 1st, we have a big, beautiful moon coming through Scorpio, your 12th house. This happens yearly. This is full. What does that mean? It means that you're capitalizing on something that began for you as a new moon on November 19th, 2025. And this is a harvest, ripening, reaping kind of energy, a fulfillment energy. This is an interesting house. If you struggle with addictions or bad habits or ways of undoing yourself, like your worst enemy is you, then this is how you've been working the soul work through the last 6 months to kind of unwind those things and move away from where you sabotage your life. And so fulfillment can be at this full moon, a sign of where you are, a tracking under the moonlight of how successful you've been, how much of your goal you've fulfilled. And the moon will be, as I said, at 11 degrees of Scorpio. It kind of flows to the nodes of fate, which is positive. And it can indicate you're really healing some things to do from with your childhood and the way you were raised, as well as past life content. And it connects to particularly how you can get away from addictions and undoings of your own self by your own hand, so to speak. On the other hand, some of you might have a full moon illuminating a potential move to a distant, far off land or foreign place. And for some Sagittarius, you might move from the country you currently live in to another country under this kind of lunation. And it could even involve the opportunity to rent a property abroad. Now, if we go past the moon and we talk about, and I'll dive into it deeper on my channel, so like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I put out deeper dives on every lunation, every eclipse, every major transit pattern in the sky for all signs. This is the overview. On May the 1st to the 3rd, Venus, who's love and money goddess herself, will be moving into a beautiful flow to Saturn. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. This is where Venus enters into your main squeeze house, the committed business partnership, love partnership arrangements. Sometimes she's good for publicity or getting you a lot of attention from clients and audience and marketplace here, or bringing positive women into your life, even, for whatever reason, friendships even. But here's the thing. Venus enters into your 7th house on May the 19th, right? I mean, on April the 24th. So you're starting the month with her there. And she'll be here until May the 18th, right? She's going to cross signs on the 19th. So why I'm telling you this is because this, for single Sagittarius, becomes the availability of a love story. And it's going to pick up steam mid-month. We'll get to that. So just know that if you're not in a relationship looking for one, especially with Uranus here, thunder, lightning, the way you love me is frightening, or unexpected, surprising, unconventional new love stories emerging. So single Sagittarius, this is a good month for love stories. All right. End of story, period. Let's move on. Her sextile to Saturn on May 1st to the 3rd is enduring love, lasting love that has a long tail or horizon line of structure and endurance, durable and enduring love. And Saturn, of course, being in a condition of fall, could mean something very interesting here. There's a soulmate quality to the love that you could be involved in right now, this month. Could have started after April 24th. But why Saturn's in fall could be an age difference, or this could be a friend, or you might be in love with a partner that belongs to a friend. And so there's a complication here. Age difference is probably the most likely, but a friend's love, an elder sibling's lover, or a friend's partner, and you're in love with them and they're in love with you. So it gets a little twisty here, but I don't mind it at some level either, because I see some other indications that, this still could be as unconventional. You're breaking your own rules in love. You're frontiering into some new territory, but the sky is the sky. And Neptune Venus energy as well suggests soulmate energy in a sextile. So if you meet your person and it's somebody else's person, or the age difference seems too big above or below you by age difference, minimum 6-7 years, but you just don't think it's okay, it's okay. Something good is trying to probably happen here. And you'll see why more as we get through this story. On the same time frame, the first week of May, right, going week by week, Mars squares Jupiter, and this is about the 2nd to the 7th of the month. And Jupiter exalted, and Mars in his Aries kingdom, right, because this is the exhausting love, romance, children, entrepreneurial stellium that's leaving this month from last month. It's maybe not been exhausting. You might have been working really hard on passion projects, but nonetheless, or futile dating attempts. But what I want to point out is that Jupiter wants something positive for you because his exaltation says, I'll give you some chunky money. I'll give you some inheritance, property from a sale of a family home. I'll give you money through tax rebates, insurance payouts, stock investments taking off. I'll give you money. Let me give you some chunks of it. You didn't have to work for it. Here you go. Just handing you the check, royalty income, ad income from Google AdSense, whatever. Here comes the money. Money from spousal separation agreements and divorces. You're going to benefit here. But why is the square there from Mars? Well, because you have to make bold decisions and take courageous action to get the money to work. So that could be if you're in a difficult relationship and you know it's over, then you're cutting the ties. It could be connections to matters of your children and money and major bold turning points that actually turn out positive. Or if you've been thinking of selling or have sold a property, especially if it comes into a connection with your siblings or your family of origin, that property sale, Mars is the bold step for completion and ending and making sure that it goes through, and or executing all of the paperwork because of Mercury to get the frigging gains of the property sale down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, close the deal. And when is this playing out? The 2nd to the 7th of May. Now, Mars in dignity in a house of good fortune, Jupiter in a house of chunky money. I don't think this is too shabby, right? Venus and Uranus could mean the offer on the house since April 26 or so. You know, there's an offer April 24th, but even better, April 26th. There's an unexpected, surprising purchaser wanting to buy property from you, and the deal is on, right? Here we go. And now you're going to execute and close the deal if you can, the first week of May, from something that could have started the last week of April. For instance, it's just an example, alrighty? There's many ways it could play out. Major changes in the life of a child, for example, going on and connecting for the child to moving to another country, not another country, to move, for your child to move out of the home that they're in, to move to another home in their own life. But there's a lot of luck and bold prosperity and how that child can move. So there's good things happening here as well. On May the 4th and 5th, Mercury and Pluto will have a square. Mercury, well, he's got contracts, information, and discussions that want to happen. And Pluto is behind him, but he's moving on to your 6th house. So it is around May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, into maybe the 6th even, where you're feeling this tension around contractual agreements, deals, conversations connected to debts, connected to money owed or money someone owes you, connected to siblings, connected to work, connected to properties that involve rental agreements. Pluto is in a sibling house, and with Mars, the ruler of siblings in his fall, a fallen siblings going through a difficult time with their health, and you're getting news of the health problem for your sibling, for example, okay? And it might particularly be a sibling 1 younger, or a sibling 2 younger, or a sibling 3 younger. In fact, all of those layers of siblings are implicated in this story. And when it comes to legal agreements and contracts connected to work and job, Pluto is what's hidden from your view, and Mercury will try to reveal it. So if you're going to sign work contracts, especially for entrepreneurial or creative endeavors, make sure that you are very careful. You can see all the fine print, so to speak, and then go ahead and look at it. The sun in Taurus in your 6th house is shining a light in the workhouse, and there may be an activation of work opportunities close to home or abroad. And Mercury is also, as a ruler of your 10th house of career, you might be getting ready to leave one career path or job, but also the same thing can be also starting you up on a new one. And you just need to look under the hood at some of the details that might be hidden from view, especially if the legal contract involves opportunities for work involving teaching, writing, marketing, selling, or traveling. On May the 6th, we're going to see the moon move into Capricorn and form a beautiful material prosperity kite in the houses that involve your money. So when the moon moves here into your 2nd house, flows to the south node in the 10th, flows to Mercury, Mr. Dealmaker, in your workhouse, work, service, job, money, career, release, surrender, let go, change. North node activation in a temporary 1-day kite. expanding your worldly success in and from the home, changing your home connected to your work, chances for an increase of money connected to job. All of that is a golden day for you on May the 6th. Give it the 5th, 6th, and 7th to be safe. Now, the second week of the month is nothing but good stuff. It's all Jupiter fueled, Mercury and Sun energy. So it's simple, powerful, and positive. We begin on the 7th to the 14th, and we say, oh, look at this on May the 9th. Le voilà. Look at what we have. May the 9th. There it is. So around May the 9th, what we get is the Sun in your work house, in your health house, rental properties, tenancies, debts, pets flowing beautifully. Yes, very nice flow going on here to Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted. So when the Sun and Jupiter are in a sextile relationship and there's an exaltation of Jupiter, this could be very good financial news. It may connect to getting a sign-on bonus, a severance package connected to work, getting a health benefit repay, insurance payouts, getting something connected to finances and animals, pets, or rental agreements. That's golden positive energy, getting your dream rental property, but you have a chunk of money to pay for it. And, Jupiter's your ruler. And when he's in your chunky money house once every 12 years, right? You should track that. I'll be doing more on that the week this happens, because this is like a bounty period for you where you could come into money that you're not earning. It's been true since last June, and it's true till the end of this June. And it was true 12 years ago and 12 years before that. I like the idea here that because the Sun starts shining light on something, and the Sun is the ruler of your 9th house, some of this money that may be procured for you by you can come through courts and legal establishments and court cases and judges and lawyers. Okay. Now, we're going to notice, I'm noticing that Mercury wants to do the same thing right after the Sun. And therefore now Mercury picks up the paperwork, some illuminating financial opportunity, some way that maybe a property could be sold, or money's coming in, or the buyer's money's landing in your bank account, or the court case is solving on your behalf financially. And then all of a sudden you're going to say, where's the information details? How do we fix this into a contractual or agreement or a binding conversation or something like that? It can be through employment structures too, that you have to finalize something. The 9th house, where the Sun is a ruler, can be the human resources department, the hiring department, the administrative part of a company. So there's potential for signing on dotted lines here. Now, because the 9th house is pilgrimages and foreign lands and distant travel, for some of you with the North Node in the 4th house, not only will you like to travel abroad, and now you might be securing the finances to do that, but some of you might also actually want to purchase a place in another country from the one in which you currently live. And these could be some positive momentums around deal making to make that wish come true. So we're talking about the 11th to the 13th for Mercury, and signing on dotted lines, or getting some really good health information that relieves you of fear and anxiety about your health. Mercury will be Cazimi the Sun. So right now he's what we call invisible or combust, but it's like he's going to bump into the Sun, and then everything that's been building will become more visible after he leaves. A few days after he leaves, and a week or two after he leaves. And this is important. The day of the Cazimi is May 14th. It's a positive day for applying for a job, quitting a job. It's an important day for doing something you want to get done and have a positive outcome from, a glorious, perfect conjunction. Mercury talking to the divine headquarters god, the Sun. Really good for spontaneous good news about your health, but also good for making the doctor appointment as well. Things you do with your health, with pets, with rental contract agreements and job contracts on the day of the Cazimi, May the 14th, will have positive long-term outcomes and consequences for you. There's a lot of support from Lord Jupiter in a sextile. I'm sort of blessing this as a positive thing for your money. If you want to move into a profession involving psychology, psychic, occult arts, and the mysteries, tarot, numerology, and astrology, you might be moving towards a job change. You might be even engaging in signing up for learning from an occult teacher underneath this kind of a sky. And the energy of the Cazimi is giving you strength to make a success story of whatever this possibility is. Come to my free Mercury Kazemi webinar. I teach 6 of them a year. This is a superior conjunction. We're going to talk about how you can use it, harness it, where the asteroids are. We do guided meditation on it. It's very powerful. People love it. I hope you will too. Come join me if you've never done one of my free 6 a year Mercury Kazemi webinars, and you get replays if you can't attend live. All right, let's keep on with it. That was the end of the glorious second week of May. We're still in good shape on very busy, but good shape on the third week of May. So remember I told you we have 3 moons, not common. By the skin of our teeth, we ended up with 3. Let's move you back an hour. I don't want to lose you. So as we move into the week of the 14th, it will be on my time zone, the 16th. There's a new moon at 25 degrees of Taurus, planting some for fresh beginnings in your work and health house, in your pets and rental property house. And with the North Node here expanding your 4th house and maybe destined changes of home, it's conceivable that it's either purchasing or renting or all of the above new property. Having the new moon here for a new beginning and Mercury right with the moon underneath the beams of the sun indicates Mercury has a big role to play in how this unfolds over the next 2 weeks and even further 6 months. Well, Mercury has rulership of your career house, so this could definitely bring in new work and career directions for you over the course of this unfoldment of a new beginning in the workhouse. And Mercury is also the boss or the ruler of your marriage house. Sometimes this can be a preceding a commitment, the dating space. So therefore, this new moon in the dating space can indicate a new beginning in long-term in relationships of romantic love and casual dating. But because it rules Mercury, the commitment house, and Venus is still here, the dating stories unfolding off this new moon of May 16th and the 2 weeks that follow may lead to a long-term commitment down the road. So pay attention to that for single Sagittarius looking to date. If you're already in a relationship, having had Venus moving through your 7th house of marriage and supporting your marriage house the best she could from April 24th to May 18th could have soothed the waters of your long-term love story and also benefited success and good things happening in the life of your marriage partner, including the money your marriage partner is making or your marriage partner getting inheritance monies from their family of origin. And Venus would have tried to help with that the best she could, April 24th to May 18th, and will continue to do that, helping as best she can through to June 13th. Now, we're going to talk next about the cosmic lovers doing the weirdest dance I've seen in the sky, Venus and Mars, because they're going to keep talking to each other, but they switch signs at the same time. So on May 16th to the 18th, Venus and Mars are flowing in a sextile. Because Venus is in the house of committed love and Mars is in the house of sexuality, dating, and romance, it's a slam dunk, potentially, for something very good trying to happen for you when it comes to love and romance. It can involve a very successful window of dating that could lead to commitment, or just a lot of love and romance and sex and pleasure and fun with someone you're already connected with between May 15th even to the 18th, 19th. A child of yours may want to relocate their home to a different city or a different neighborhood or a different house in their city. And that's another thing that would flow very positively for one of your children. In this case, it could benefit both a thirdborn and a firstborn and a secondborn child. Both of those can derive benefits from this. Now, while this is happening, Mercury will also be conjuncting the Uranus surprise, kaboom, and there is something unexpected that comes through from your partner in long-term love. We're talking about your significant partner in love or a business partner or information from a client, but there's female energy here too. Venus and Moon is female. So a female in your life, client, customer, or maybe your long-term love partner, male or female, has a surprise for you and is going to deliver the news or information to you, because when Mercury is with Uranus, it's that surprise coming from someone else. If you're selling a property, it's a surprise offer that's quite good for someone to purchase your property. And this energy is going to deliver a positive surprise because of the mini trine to Neptune and to Pluto. And it delivers positive surprises connected to money and wealth, connected to love and romance. From your partner's perspective, it could be surprises about their career situation looking really good on them if you're married already, or their career goals and gains of their career looking particularly positive, as well as maybe their success and financial wealth coming through international directions, book publishing, and just an uplift in that, and feeling like they got a super good offer in their career for new gains connected to universities, education, distant lands, publishing deals, and stuff like that. So it may not be your story, maybe your partner's success. But if it is something coming from your partner towards you, or a business offer to buying a house or something, someone who wants to buy your property, it has good energy because of the mini trine. It's almost like a dream come true for your partner or you. And it also involves, of course, the energy of the flow to Pluto. If you're dating somebody, or even you're in a long-term love story, this can be a fertility excitement where you find out that there's a baby on the way, and maybe it's a delay. You haven't had children yet. You thought you weren't going to have any. Saturn means delay in pregnancy and fertility. And, even if it wasn't planned, even if it was like we're just dating and we got pregnant, I think you're going to think this is a good thing. I think this is going to feel like, yeah, I want this. So a positive fertility surprise may come from your significant other in this regard. Obviously, it's a female, because man's not going to surprise the woman that he's pregnant, right? So I hope that makes sense for you guys. And I hope you're not too woke. All righty. Let's keep going. Watch these cosmic lovers switch signs. They're still talking to each other, but now they're talking about something different. Venus is talking about chunky money, and Mars is talking about work, debts. Venus is in banks, loans, mortgages, and financing, insurance payouts, and taxes, and Mars is in work and debts as well. I guess I could say something good is trying to happen here, also involving courts and lawsuits, because the Sun on Algol means wealth, Mars is change, ruling the house of courts. A court settlement or a legal process favors you and may bring you some wealth. However, watch out that with Mars and Algol Sun, you don't just up and quit your job in a hissy fit. But still, with a sextile to Venus, you're going to come out on top with a great severance package or something like that. And so there's something going on. If you get your job quit on you and you didn't want to quit, then severance packages will look good on you. And Mercury, got some surprises up his sleeve for you when he squares the South Node, bends the North Node. So there's some big, intense, destined energies going on with long-term love and job and career and home in the life of all Sagittarius in the month of May. But this is particularly true where we're at in the chronology, but May 14th to 21st. When Venus squares Neptune, there's maybe a disillusionment or a reality check. And she's going to square Saturn later on the 27th to the 29th. You can probably connect May 21st to May 27th. Okay. So what it means is that Venus in your house of chunks of money that you don't earn, that you share with others, including the in-law money, suddenly comes into this difficult realization with Neptune that something's not as dreamy and wonderful as she would have perceived. Now there is something visibly reality check, sober-minded kind of thing. Venus could be saying there's a reality check around how much money you're going to get from the sale of a property, or she could be talking about a reality check about stories to do with your career gains in general and your money from jobs and work. But whatever this disillusionment is, it could also be about love, because this is connecting to the romance house. And so Venus could say, okay, are you seeing this relationship that's been what's swiping you off your feet? Whirlwind energy. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are we looking closely? Are we digging under the surface? Are we trying to take a look at what's going on for real? That's what she might be doing on the 21st to 22nd. And then later on, I'll just jump ahead. On the 27th to 29th, she squares Saturn, and that's hard reality. But it can mean love and money are hard as well. And with a fallen Saturn on the 27th to 29th, money involving your children and a lover could go through a difficult time. Creative and artistic and entrepreneurial projects may face a hurdle, maybe a tax hurdle or investment monies that you thought were coming in, like venture capital, and a blockage. Okay, there's a blockage here. And ultimately, you may have been relying or hoping that a friend was going to come through for you on a financial front, or a sibling one older, and they're failing to follow through in a way that were expecting them to do, or just a sibling in general, and a failure for that sibling to follow through, or delays from that sibling on monetary matters, maybe even connected to who owes who money. Now, back to the third week, the Sun and Uranus will co-join the 21st to the 23rd for a surprise, simply a surprise. Something will surprise you. And the Sun being with the surprise of Uranus, the unexpected surprise of Uranus, rules your ninth house of grandchildren. So there may be a surprise coming through about your grandchildren. Your significant long-term partner in love may have a surprise in their life revolving around a sibling, and also matters connected to sibling property, land, and home. So the surprise may not be yours, but there's an illumination of something unseen. Mercury's just getting ready to be visible again, not quite there. So there's a lot of unseen stuff being illuminated. And it may surprise you. You may be surprised by what's disclosed by your business partner, client, customer, audience member, but also significant love partner. Or if there's a contractual legal agreement, something that was unseen because it activates the Sun, the house of law and courts, will be revealed under the light of the Sun around the 21st to the 23rd. Is it good or bad? Well, it's not good or bad. It's just necessary. Squaring the nodes of fate, and probably could involve legacy wealth, inheritances, property, and land as well, and family of origin money or in-law money. And then if you look at Mercury sextiling Saturn, Mercury sextiling Saturn is news that may be difficult, but essential and necessary. Necessary news, necessary information. This is going to happen. Watch Mercury, watch Saturn, kind of here on about the 22nd, 23rd. So the 22nd, 23rd, there's just something going on where news or ideas or information are being revealed, or someone's aiming that at you, right, from across the way, including a spouse, including a business partner, including a legal contract. It could involve your children, creative projects, art, entrepreneurial businesses. It could involve something going on in your spouse's life connected to their career gains and disclosures or information. Now, Mercury is almost getting visible, but not quite. All right. So he needs to be 15 degrees away from the Sun, which means that he won't be visible for a while, maybe 5 more days. So it's still kind of like you're getting news of something, there's information being divulged, but it's not quite yet also clear. You'll see that it will be a few days after the 23rd. Now we'll talk about the difficult last week of the month, shall we? This is what I would say for the world could be a terrorist event or a really catastrophic, ruthless brutality in war, mass shootings, dark stuff. But May the 23rd to the 26th in your life, in your little everyday normal life of everyday human being that you are, it's not that. What it might be for you, just saying, Pluto in the house of siblings, right? In a difficult square to Mars in the house of debts, a blow up with a sibling over money, a difficult situation impacting your health connected to third house stories, neighbors, neighborhood, be careful driving your car. Mars is plowing like a bulldozer through your 6th house. He arrived as a bulldozer in a place of discomfort in Taurus on May 19th and prevails to bulldoze through your house of health, work, pets, and rental agreements, debts until June the 28th. So there's a lot of Mars trying his best. At least he's in the house of his joy, and it's good for getting a job or work. Okay, it can work for you. You can possibly be lucky getting a new job around May 23rd. But the square to Pluto is at some cost, some power struggle. Like you have to move your city, change your neighborhood. Does a work opportunity put you at odds with a sibling? Is a work opportunity going to be forthcoming here in a writing, communicating, marketing, and selling part of your story? But you're going to end up feeling like it's less, you're overqualified. But the Pluto thing can also be a power struggle, and Mars is like pushing back, but he's pushing back slowly. Like he's not like swift and bitch slapping somebody, No, he's like, okay, I'm struggling to push back. I've got to like plow through and push back on this power struggle. You can be determined and superpowered in will, but also exhausted and overworked. And you could be hitting a work wall here as well. South Node moon in the 10th house means your body and your health can be challenged by overworked loads in job situations and settings, especially with a fallen Saturn ruling the earnings house. So there's a lot going on where pay attention to how you're feeling under this May 23rd to 26th. If you need to take time off work because this is killing you, take it off. Watch for road rage. Don't be the rager. Be careful you don't injure yourself, especially your neck and shoulders. Taurus, that's a risk. Be careful. And during May 23rd to the 26th, yes. And a sibling in you, a sibling, which sibling? I don't know which sibling. Some challenges for sure. Could even be challenges with a sibling around money and family of origin property, inheritances, real estate that belongs to your parents, and a real push and shove going on here. And if your sibling owes your money and never paid it back, this could be going on as a tension as well. Could involve a lot of money stories under the sky with a sibling. May the 23rd to the 26th. Now, Pluto, however, at the very same time, trining the sun is positive. We have Venus in your chunky money house blessing you, by the way. I should mention that. From May 19th to June 13th. So good for like mortgages, banks, loans, investments, insurance payouts, tax situations, inheritances, in-law money coming your way from the in-laws. Okay, good for that. She's going to conjunct Jupiter in June. You want to come to my channel, so like and subscribe, because that's going to be a very important positive turning point in June, money-wise. If you think about the sun, it's shining in the house of other people. It's not your son. It's your spouse. It's your business partner. It's your audience, marketplace, clients, and fan club. It's your legal contracts and agreements and vows. Sun shines brightly and trines Pluto, the wealth god, in your third house. Neighbors, siblings, cousins, positive money stories, emerging wealth, power. A powerful opportunity to travel with a spouse, into it for some travel that's transformative, game-changing, cathartic, and can renew the relationship with your partner. Writing, communicating, marketing, selling, teaching, and learning, projects that are potentially quite wealth-inducing, flowing to a contract, an agent, an agreement, a buyer in a positive way around the 23rd to the 26th. With the sun ruling your 9th house, it favors book publishing, international success, matters to do with academic successes in a learning environment, as well as maybe legal successes, especially if it involves siblings and cousins as well, or neighbors, and success as well. I told you that Venus would square Saturn, where love and money feel harder. Something like a disillusionment reality check point happens on the 27th to the 29th. I won't cover it again. I already brought it up a little bit earlier to connect it to the Neptune story on the 21st and 22nd. When we move past that, like kerfuffle there, this little gnarly square on the 27th. I'm getting deliriously tired. Here's Venus in your 8th house. And she's squaring Saturn here. So you can feel it building on the 27th, 28th, 29th. Could be a money problem. Could be a children and money problem. Could be a problem with your children and a disillusionment or difficulty regarding finding a proper home to live in. Because you can see evidence earlier when Mars was in Aries, April 24th to May 18th or 19th-ish, that one of your kids might have been getting ready to change their home or move out of your home. So there's just some kind of disappointment, disillusionment, or reality check about it at this time. And then we move on to the full moon in your sign. Surprise! We don't usually have 3 moons in a month. The last one on May the 31st happens at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. You are on fire. This is a moon that I really like. I cannot say how much I like it. So 9 degrees Sag moon in your Sag sign. Of course, your Sag, closer you are sun, moon, and rising to 9 degrees, the more intense it is, but it still impacts every Sagittarius. It's reflecting the light of the sun in business contracts, partnerships, people that are important to you, audience, fans. With surprising excitement, Uranus, breaking the rules, breakthroughs and freedom. Mercury's up here in dignity, reflecting positive communications, contracts, agreements, legal, marketing, vows, signing papers, right? Fulfillment. You had a new moon here on December 19th last year. If you were to take December 19th and add 2 to 3 weeks, what was happening? What were you doing? Did you want to find a new home? Did you want to change your career? Were you looking for a relationship change, like divorce settlements, or were you looking for a relationship period, the committed kind? Because where your seeds you planted in December 19th, and because the sun is being reflected in your house, it could also involve December 19th, planting a seed for international travel, pilgrimages, spiritual questing, higher educational applications. Did you plant those seeds in December last year? Because fulfillment is coming through for you personally. You are fulfilling something. You are coming to the actual light of a realization of something you wanted to happen. And because this moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius is not only bending the nodes of fate, particularly the south node, but it's also, it's very fated and destined stuff, but it's also in a beautiful flowing relationship to Saturn. And so there's something about stability, long-term success. If you are planting a seed for a new relationship, it could be a long-term new relationship is unfolding in your life, going from dating or not even knowing each other to coming into contact May 31st, 2 days before, up to 2 weeks after. If you're single, please don't be afraid to go on a date. Saturn's fall can be, again, is the person belonging to a friend? Is it your elder sibling's partner that you're in love with? Or is it someone with a significant older or younger than you age difference, right? And you're just not sure about that. Well, this moon is going to try to shift your perspective on that. It flows to soulmate Neptune. It flows to Saturn for longevity and committed love, vis-a-vis romantic love. The whole thing is a setup here to try to actualize success in long-term love through romantic love. Are you having a child? Maybe this could be news, excitement, that a long goal, plan, dream to have a child is going to be fulfilled with you and a partner. And you know, you weren't expecting it, or you thought you were too old, or they were too old, something like that, late blooming parenting. But if that's going to happen, and it can under the sky, I'm going to give you a clue. Who is it? Is it your dad, your mother, your grandpa, your grandma? Someone in your line pushed through against all odds to make it through to be the baby. Okay. So this is one of those kinds of stories. Or you had sexual barriers, right? IUDs and condoms and diaphragms or whatever else. You had them all ready to go and you were using them and it failed, which happens. This is also a failure contraception sky leading to a pregnancy. But I think for some reason, the overall tone of the sky might suggest it is welcome, even if it was just dating. Maybe you always wanted to be a parent and what the hell? You're going to make it work. That's an example. Creative artistic projects, find fulfillment in legal contracts, entrepreneurial business endeavors that you've been working really hard on, especially if it has to do with your career ambitions and long range dreams and goals, especially if you're an artist of any kind or a performer or a musician or creative, then you may find there's going to be a beautiful fulfillment of a dream that this moon can unfold in the 2 weeks that follow, that bring you a completion and fulfillment of a yearning for success in your creative and entrepreneurial and artistic stories. Thank you for listening. I am tired. I slept 4.5, 5 hours last night. This is April 16th. We're coming onto a very intense new moon in Aries, and I'm an Aries sun, moon, and rising. So, I'm an Aries sun, moon, and Mercury. Because I'm tired, I would be very grateful if you would subscribe, like, share, hype. If you would consider checking me out on Substack, where I write the Pluto Chronicles about world astrology. If you would consider checking me out, but you don't have to, but I'd love if you did, on my Patreon community where I teach classes, where you get everything early access ad free, or my membership community here on YouTube. And don't forget, I am also teaching the Divine Timing Masterclass in May, and I'd love for you to come join us. If you're okay being past the beginner phase of astrology, then you're going to love some of the divine timing, precision timing tools I'll be teaching. 5 different tools, 5 different weeks. Take one class or take them all. See you on the next one. Ciao. Well, astrology is the map, it is the terrain of time. And in our course, the Divine Timing Masterclass, we're going to be learning about 5 very powerful precision tools in astrology to time your best life. But here is the thing. This is a course that takes ancient timing tools and Time Lord tools, and yes, helps you navigate reality with greater ease and flow and even luck because you know how to work with it. But it is not the only part that astrology offers you. It's not only a prediction map of time. Once you start going down the astrology rabbit hole, you, like me, begin to wonder about fate and free will, like who's in charge here? Because you're going to see the arc of destiny, and you're going to notice if you use these timing tools, not only how to look forward, but how to look backwards. And one of the most surprising parts of this is that when we turn around and look backwards using astrology, we see pattern recognition and cycle repetition. So in my Divine Timing Masterclass, I've chosen 5 tools that I think I can teach intermediate to advanced beginner students. And I have taught this class before in 2022 and 2021, but not all of these tools. I taught 4 of these tools, I believe. So in our class, if you want to join me in the Divine Timing Masterclass for 5 consecutive weekends in the month of May on Saturdays, I'd love to have you there. There's a little checklist on my website that's going to ask you whether or not you think you're ready for this class, because you don't want to take this class if you've never before learned the meaning of the planets, the meanings of the houses, how to recognize the astrology glyphs. If you don't know the rudimentary language of astrology, this course will not be for you. Lunatic astrology.